So, what's your name, Granny?
I haven't got a name.
It's going to be a long interview.
Your full name, please.
Cecilia Diver.
And when were you born?
I was born on the 3rd was the 5th of January,
December.
December 1923.
And where were you born?
Effishmore, Manley, County Donegal.
I'll have the questions.
And do you want to ask some more of the...
I'll keep on if you want basics.
Hmm?
You have another one in mind?
What'd you say?
Just going to start asking about old times.
Here. So just look at them and whatever one you think. Like, skip them.
And why were you called Cecilia?
I was called after my granny. Mm-hmm.
Her name was what?
Cecilia.
Cecilia.
And that was supposed to be the Irish for Cecilia. Mm-hmm.
And did you have a nickname?
No.
What about Mom?
Oh, we called Mullen a surname. That was our nickname.
And where did that come from?
It's come from Glenagivney. Getting over the direction.
And what was it like growing up in your home?
That was good, great.
What was your house like?
Oh, we were in a thatched house. That's quite a lovely. Well, the house and then all the animals' houses was after it. You know, it was all home.
What kind of animals did you keep?
Horses, cows, cats. And then we had hens and ducks.
And what was your
Geese.
job? What was your job when you were a wee girl around the house?
My job, my granny was in World War, like myself now. And I was up with Granny, helping her. Doing work.
Helping her with what?
Hmm?
Helping her, you said?
Helping her with her housework.
Cleaning.
Well, we cleaned the house. We cleaned the house every morning and swept it first and then washed it. You know,
Any work with the animals?
no.
Didn't work.
Did you not have to collect the eggs?
Well, it collected the eggs.
Oh.
You went with a basket out in the evening and you collected the eggs. In the hen house, or maybe, yeah, the hens would have nests along the garden. Mhm.
And what'd you do with the eggs then?
Well, we sold them. The eggs were sold. But we used them for cooking, you know, the fat in the house.
Did you trade them
You
for...
get a boiled egg in the morning. Everybody had a boiled egg in the morning.
Mhm.
And you have some good down there. Say, well, if you wanted it.
Did you have music in the house?
Just an accordion.
Who played that?
Mummy played it first and then Pat, when he took it on. Pat was a great player. Mm-hmm.
Daddy played it then too.
Hmm?
Daddy played it too, didn't he?
Aye, he did. And then when I started to go to girls, I got him a new accordion out of Viking. It was £4.50, I think, and £4.50.
Mm.
And I got my friend to carry it home. My uncle, John Diver, he got it, and he bought it for me, got it over in England, and then Gertie Monica was going over to England, and she wasn't near the size of me even, and I asked her if she would take it home. She said she wasn't sure, but she didn't realise it was going to be so heavy.
Oh,
It was nearly as long as her.
oh my god.
I don't know how she got it managed, she must have got help on this motor.
She'd need it.
It was a lovely big accordion. It's upstairs still.
Oh, is that the one?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
And how did you get about, Granny?
Yeah.
How did you get about?
Shanksmere.
You are?
Shanksmere.
Shanksmire.
Her feet. We had, well, it depended on what you were doing. If you were going to Mass on Sunday morning, we went in the trap. A horse and trap.
What's that?
It was something that, like a cart only it was finer, it was smaller, and it was padded, leather seats in it, it was nice. It was great.
Did everybody have
We
them?
thought it was great. Eh?
Did everybody have them?
No, most people had. And they had jaunting cars as well. They were different, they were like, I don't know what they were like, they were, that's, the feet, where your fetus would be, whenever they were ordered or ordered, they could put it up, there were hinges in the sides of them, and you could put it up, but then you could pull it down and you could sit in the car, and then down here was your feet. And there was, they were kind of dangerous, for young people, because you could fall off.
Did you ever fall off?
No, but Annie did.
Oh, she did?
Annie did. And we went round to lift her up. And she says, don't lift me, I'm dead. Don't lift me, I'm dead.
What age was she?
I was about 4.
Oh.
Don't lift me, I'm dead.
Oh.
Where were we going to Mass?
We were coming from Mass.
Oh.
And then the horses were yoked when we were down, and there was a stable at the church hall. And then who were coming out, there were maybe 9 or 10 traps, one after the other, and I'd see who could go the fastest. We were going fast.
Mm.
You want to read all the questions? There's a really interesting one.
Where was I?
Hold on.
What do you remember about your grandparents?
My grandparents, well, my granny was great. We loved her, but I wasn't too keen on my grandfather. He was cross. And he would tell you what he thought about you,
Mm.
And we didn't have him long because he died he died when I was, I think, about 7 or 8. And, but he was very crowded.
Do you think it's just because he was an old man?
Hmm?
Because he was an old man,
He
like
was
so?
an old man, And he had the longest big toes ever I seen. He used to come down.
Insert picture.
He used to come down to Granny, down to our house, you see. My mother was there was no other girls in the house, only ourselves. 7 boys, there were 7 brothers and Mammy. And they come down to, some of them come to see her every day. You know, and sit and get a cup of tea, and they all had jobs in the house, the farm kept them all working. And then if they weren't working on the farm, they used to fix the roads, like they would quarry up in the quarry the stones, and then they would nap the stones. They would have to chop them into wee small bits, put them out, gather them along the road. And it made a good job of the roads, you know, when it would sink down. And
You're like, you need just go next. There was one really interesting about technology.
Oh, did you have electricity, TV, or a phone?
there was no phones. There was no electricity when we were home. It was tilly lamps, they called them. Yeah.
And what are they?
They were like a hurricane lamp now, only they were bigger, and they held the oil on one side, and they were nice. They were great, you know. They came out in my time, you know, when I was about 9 or 10, and before that, it was just wee lamps you had sticking up on the wall, you know, oil lamps. And you put them in the wall, and they would show plenty of light for doing the housework. They were no good for sewing or nothing.
And what did you do for entertainment?
We just made that. We danced at night. Every night we danced in the house. My mother would play the accordion, and we would be out dancing away, and it was all great.
We must start doing that.
What kind of dancing?
Well, there was a dance, and they called it the, I'm not sure this is over in there, Lancers. We called it the Lancers. And it was around 4 or 5. First you go around dancing, just your feet to music, and then the next would be swings, 2 swings, and then there would be 4 swings, you know, and it could go to 8 swings. And it was much like, what would you call it? I can't think what you would call it.
The Siege of Venice?
Eh?
The Siege of Venice or something like that?
Aye, then you could, it was called Irish dancing then, Cecilia Diver, and I don't remember the rest of the dances, the names of them, you know.